So welcome back to everyone watching this channel. I hope you're all doing well. And if you're not and you're struggling, well then that's why we're here. We're in this. We're going to do this together. And we're going to get out of whatever funk that you were in, okay? You can do this. I am with you. So let's get started. So this is going to be a bit of a personal story because those photos that you saw, they were of me. They are real photos, untouched, unedited, nothing. They were raw, original photos. And they were photos of me during a time several years ago where I was really struggling. And today I'm going to share some tips with you on how to get out of that and how to clean our bodies from the inside out, refresh our organs, including our skin, because that is, after all, the largest organ of our body, right? And we want to take good care of it so that it can take good care of us in return. And just to preface this a little as well, and to give some background, this was during a time many years ago that did last several years, where I was under an immense amount of external stress, but also simultaneously not feeding the body with the proper nutrients that it needs and not fueling the body with what it needs and wants in order to have things like clear skin, a clear mind, and just clear 100% or close to 100% functioning organs. All right, and so these tips that I'm about to share, they are to work to cancel the negatives out with the positives and replenish all that with positives so that you can get back to being you, to feeling you, and to feel like you are functioning at a maximum capacity and you're living life to the fullest, and nothing health-wise is stopping you from doing whatever you love to do and want to do in life. And to be honest, this is a little hard to share because it is a bit of a personal story, and it's not all glam and glamorous and stuff you always see on people's Instagram. But it is here and it's available as a resource for anyone out there to get themselves better. If they're in this situation or a similar situation, they can take the tools, and the same tools, or if you want to adjust a little bit, you can, to help yourselves and again be the best version of you that you deserve in life. Additionally, what you see when you first clicked on the video, this had not just affected, this area, my face and everything, but my whole head, my scalp, my neck, that I think you can see, my belly, under my arms, in the inners of my elbows, where else? On my inner thighs, on the backs of my knees. I mean, it was everywhere and it was severe. And it was really some gut-wrenching stuff that at one point I thought that I could not go on living about my life in this condition and go out and do things normal people do, including working and making a living, because this was consuming me so much. So without further ado, let's do this. Number 1, numéro 1. So we want to focus on fruits and veggies. A lot of societal culture is fixed and marketed to consume protein, 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 after protein, after protein. Have I said enough? Protein. When in fact, the human body, we don't generally need so much protein. And when we think about the common cold. For example, so many people feel better after eating like chicken soup, for example, or chicken noodle soup. But let's dissect this a little bit. It's not the meat, right, that makes you feel better in that soup. It's definitely not the fat residue from the meat stewing in there that helps you out or makes you feel better. And you know, like the day after you make the soup or someone makes the soup for you and you go and reheat it, and there are those clumps of white saturated fat that globs up at the top of the soup, and then once you warm it up, it dissipates. Yeah, those, they don't help you at all in getting better and feeling better. And those residues come from the meat. So what is it then? Well, simply put, it is the vegetable base that really is the main ingredient, main thing, main component that makes you feel better and helps you to get over that common cold, just for example. So I would suggest don't eat out in restaurants or to-go places or anything. Just start making your meals at home and focus more on having larger portions of fruits, numerous fruits. There's so many fruits out there that you could obtain. Fruits and veggies, same thing. So many veggies out there that you could obtain. You don't have to limit yourself to just broccoli and green beans if that's what you think there is to get. There's so much more, so many different colored varieties of veggies, vegetables, of fruits. And just start making those home cooked meals at home as often as you can, as often as your lifestyle allows. And most of these tips are going to be related to diet. So just putting it out there as FYI. All right, so number two is to slowly dissolve off your use of oils. So what do I mean when I say that? We all know that consuming fried foods, for example, is not the healthiest. We definitely want to cut that out when we're trying to clean out our body, trying to detox our body, and trying to get rid of all the blockages, all the bad stuff in there, right? So in order to do this, we do have to slowly dissolve the use of oils. And I know people will say that, oh, but what about, like, for example, olive oil, extra EVOO, extra virgin olive oil? Yes, EVOO is great. Okay, I'm not saying it's a bad oil, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's a good oil, and it is good for you, right? But when you're dealing with something chronic like this, and you want to detox, and you're serious enough about detoxing because you just had enough, you've had enough, we must focus on dissolving your use of oils. So no fried foods. And number two, within that point, is even if you go ahead and saute this, right? You don't want to use oil. If you want to saute anything, use water. Use water to cook it down. If you don't want to eat it raw, if you can't eat anything raw, use water and allow whatever you're cooking to cook with H2O. Fat that comes from oil is just going to be clogging in your system, and we don't want that. So this has to be eliminated. Tip three is a major tip, which I loved when I was using it during my detoxing phase, was the use of juicing. So juicing, you can juice basically anything and everything, all kinds of fruits, all kinds of veggies. So not only do you want to try to home cook your meals, but you also want to try to juice and get that get those electrolytes in naturally that way. So if you don't have a juicer, I don't know many people that have juicers, but I know a lot of people have blenders. And you can also use a blender as well. If you don't have a juicer, obviously juicer would be better because that's what it's made for. But you can also technically use a blender. You can make smoothies with any kind of combinations of fruits and veggies. But if you don't want to make smoothies, you can also juice it. Just make sure when you're using the blender afterward, you use a really, really good pliable strainer. And you'll just squeeze that all out from whatever your favorite fruits and veggies are, preferably organic. And you can juice that out and have that first thing in your morning before your breakfast. Also have maybe a full glass for with lunch and dinner every day. That is one of the biggest tips that I can give you. Juicing is great. Number four is the use of supplements. So I believe I spoke a little bit about supplements in one of my earlier videos, but this is a tip here in terms of the tips allowing you and helping you to detox faster. So supplements are not, I just want to clarify, not supposed to replace your nutritious, pardon me, they're not supposed to replace your nutritious meals, okay? That's why they are called supplements, because they're to supplement your meals, not replace them. So just choose whatever has the lesser the ingredients, the better, obviously, even if it's a little more costly. Remember, this is to help your health. Health is wealth. We need to invest a little more in our health so that in the long term we can gain more for ourselves back. So an example I can think of at the stores that you can get, or your local vitamin area shop, would be the brand Vitamin Code. Vitamin Code manufactures a lot of different things, but in general I've found that that company is pretty honest and pretty clean with their products, and you can use that company for any of your needs. Sometimes I still buy Vitamin Code myself for different vitamins and minerals that I'm taking, and unless they change their formula drastically, then I probably won't stop occasionally getting products from them. So I think Vitamin Code is good, and it's good to supplement this to help help your body along with your full nutritious meal. This will help. It's like the creme of the creme on top of the main. I think we're on tip 5. The last tip that relates to diet that I would like to share is to please wean off prescription pills and any OTCs. Just in general, a lot of these are slow, maybe silent, and I'm not sure if I'm using too harsh of a word, but we'll just put killers, slow, silent killers, and just taking into account that generally remember that these companies and large industries, they honestly, they profit off of our sicknesses. So let's drop them. Let's drop these and stop relying on refill after refill of prescription, and lower our use of OTCs. And also, just to preface this, there can be and might very well be a withdrawal period when weaning yourself off of medication that you've most likely been on for a long time, or that the longer you've been on a certain pill or pills, the likelier it is for you to go through withdrawal. And I went through the same thing. I had topical things going on, multiple topical prescriptions, multiple oral prescriptions, and you may hate me for saying this, but it is highly probable to get worse before you can get better. And I know you hate hearing this. I know I hated hearing this, but it is true for a lot of situations. But remember, the goal is the best version of you. And that's what we're working for. And you will thank yourself and thank the universe for going through this and just toughing it out for a bit before hitting the finish line. Right. Tip number 6, advice 6 is, this one is not diet related, but it is the last one. And the last tip I have for you all is the use of Epsom salts. If you're really in that bad of condition, which I was at one point of time, I myself utilized Epsom salts every other day, I believe, if not every day, just to calm the outer layer of my skin all over from head to toe and back up, using Epsom salt in warm water, warm to hot water. You don't want it too hot, but just enough, and you're able to soak with the salts for, I would say, 20 minutes or however long that you're comfortable with the salts. And that's all. You don't have to follow any of these. You can just follow some of these, or you can do all of these. These are just the major things that I can think of that really helped me in my journey. These 6 major brief talked about steps, and I really hope that this can help at least one other person out there. That would make me happy. And I just want to say a big thank you to you for helping to support this channel. Until next time, bye.